Live with Bob Hanson, Tom Luchak, Sean O'Malley, Adam Fitzgerald, and Andy Van Meer. This is Buffalo After Dark.
Good evening, everybody. This is your host, Buffalo Bob, over here at Buffalo After Dark. I am here with my partner, Sean O'Malley, and waiting on Tom Luchak for a few minutes. He's coming out in a bit. He's just got some stuff to take care of. So with that, for the time being, I got Sean O'Malley with me tonight.
Yes, sir. Had a little long day of work, but I am here. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to talk some Bills and some Kraken.
Oh, goody. You got your hands full there, guy.
Yeah, I do. Holy crap.
Yeah. So tell me, what else has been going on in life?
Nothing big really, to be honest, just working as usual. All that fun jazz.
That's good. So
Yeah, how about you?
Same thing. Work's been kind of stressful lately, getting ready for the holidays and stuff like that because Thanksgiving just ended. In fact, to kick it off, I got a little Christmas tree right here, and I got some eggnog on my right, and I also got some Christmas lights going on in the background. So I will be probably lighting these up all for the month of December and get ready for Christmas.
All right, sounds cool.
Damn straight. So with that being said, let's get some news going. So we'll start with some football. So let's talk about the Bills game for a moment. As the Bills, most of you know, beat the New Orleans Saints 31-6 on Thanksgiving Day. So give me your impressions on this.
Honestly, despite all the injuries that the Saints had before the game, I was still kind of nervous. I mean, it was a Thanksgiving game and all that stuff. And I'm glad the game worked out the way we did, but unfortunately, it did come at a heavy price. For those who may not know, or though I don't know why you haven't yet, our star cornerback, oh boy, Tre'Davious White, is out for the rest of the season due to a torn ACL.
Which friggin' sucks because he's probably one of the best shutdown corners in the league.
Absolutely. He's had 0 touchdowns thrown against him before the injury.
And now they're going to have to fill up a huge void, which I think they can do pretty easily. I mean, they got some pretty decent depth. They got Dane Jackson in there. They got Cam Lewis. So I don't know. I mean, the way Sean McDermott was talking about Dane Jackson, it seems like to me he's going to be the secondary guy.
Yeah, I was just thinking that too. They put in Dane Jackson for White, and he performed really good. He held his own. No much respect to him. So, but I still got a feeling that whatever the next opponent, which is the Patriots, more than likely they're going to be throwing it at his side more often. So, I'm a little nervous about that because they're going to take advantage of that injury. No doubt about that.
Well, of course. I mean, again, one injury cannot affect the whole team because if you look at it from the perspective, because if you're showing slight weakness, the enemy will take an advantage of it.
Absolutely. And with the way New England's been playing the last several games, they're on a winning streak. They're a hot team right now. I'll give them credit for that. So we'll see how things work out this coming Monday night.
Well, I mean, I don't know if you heard the news, but you saw the news from Sean McDermott yesterday, right?
Which one?
The one that basically says that Spencer Brown, John Feliciano, and Star Lotulelei are all coming back and will be playing on Monday night. That one.
Yes, I saw. Yes, I read the news. That is really awesome news. Perfect timing, and oh man, this is going to be good.
I still think, I don't like making predictions, but I feel pretty good about this game. I really do. I think there's some sort of momentum being built for the Bills. And I also found out today that Kyle Duggar, who is one of the Patriots safeties, the sophomore safety, is going to probably be going on COVID protocol. So he's out for a little while.
Yeah, that might be it might be a little advantage for us on offense. So who knows?
Well, while we're talking about this game, let's go over it. So there are some stats I found, and from Buffalo Fanatics, by the way. I'm not stealing it from myself. This is from Buffalo Fanatics. And they revealed through NFL.com the offense, defense, passing, and rushing statistics. And starting on the offense, the Patriots are ranked 7th in offense, and the Bills are ranked 6th. On defense, the Patriots just cracked the top 10, and the Bills, for some magical reason, are still at number 1. Passing game, Patriots, same thing. They're at the 10th spot, and the Bills are at 7th in passing in the league. The only advantage that New England will have going forward is the Patriots are 9th in the NFL in rushing, and the Bills are ranked 13th in rushing.
Yeah. I mean, with any like real question, like any news on with Tremaine Edmonds did come back, right?
Edmonds came back on Thanksgiving.
Okay. So, all right. So yeah. I mean, hopefully, whatever injury he had, I think was his hamstring. Hopefully, it doesn't affect him too bad because he's one of our best pass rushers on defense. So, and in regards to our rushing as well, we got to give Matt Breida a whole lot of 2 games, especially against the Jets. He's earned it. Just give him a chance, and who knows? We'll see what happens because he's got the speed that we need.
Yeah, I think that's the plan going forward. But I have to imagine, because it worked with Breida on Thanksgiving, I think that's what they're going to go with. Because I feel like Moss has just been a disappointment. I mean, he was fine last year, but this year, since he got injured last year during the playoffs, he just has not looked the same.
Yeah, no, not at all. And I mean, it's one thing to be a little bit less better than you are coming from injury, but I mean, just the way he performed this season so far, you said it best. It's disappointing, to be honest. So right now, it looks like it's just Devin Singletary and Matt Breida for now.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with that duo, but I just don't know if Breida is going to be back next year. I mean, I think because they really didn't give him enough snaps throughout the year until now, I don't know if they'll resign him. But if he can prove himself more when they play New England on Monday, then I think they will get some sort of picture or idea of what they would want to do with him.
Yeah, I think he'll be able to prove himself. I mean, yeah, again, it's just a matter of us giving him a chance,
That's the best way I could put it. So, I mean, it should definitely be exciting, but I'm a little nervous because New England's been kind of hot lately. But to their defense, the Patriots played some pretty weak teams. They played a banged-up Titans team, and everybody that they pretty much played, like the Jets, the Chargers, the Bengals, are all fighting for a playoff spot, but they're not as good as people thought they were going to be.
No, absolutely not. But again, it's like we've said before. Any given Sunday, stuff can happen, and it's just a matter of who performs the best. And despite what teams the Patriots have faced, they have been the better team.
Oh yeah, I'm not doubting that at all. I just think that people would benefit them, and the media, they're like, oh, well, the Patriots are playing great. See, that's the thing I hate about the media is whenever you mention the Patriots, whether it's Tom Brady or anybody else, they always give them a big ass blowjob just because they're on a little winning streak.
Yeah, honestly, that we've heard it so many times over the last 20 plus years. I'm just at a point where I don't even care anymore. I'm just used to it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I want to put them right back in their place. That's the only thing I care about at this point as far as the Bills are concerned. And I think they will do it, but it's just going to take some time. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so with that being said, let's move on to the next topic. And that is, there's been some interesting news coming out of Seattle lately. And supposedly this could be Russell Wilson's last year with the Seattle Seahawks, and he could end up requesting a trade, according to Adam Schefter.
Well, I mean, they just lost to Washington this past Monday, and geez, man, Seattle really fell off the wagon this season, man. Like where they are now, 3-8,
something like that. But even before,
sheesh. No, I'm just saying. I mean, sheesh.
Yeah, it's a mess. I mean, Seattle is injury riddled. They traded their first round pick, if you remember, for Jamal Adams. That didn't work out too well so far. And if the draft were today, the Jets would have 2 of their picks in the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah, imagine that. So it's a wild goose chase. I'll show you. I actually read this stat the other day. Let me see if I can find it real quick. And I know I saw it. Give me 1 minute here. It won't take too long. I read it the other day, and it said that that if the draft were today, the Lions would have the first overall pick, which would be no one's surprise. And then you would have the Jets and the Giants, who, if you remember, the Giants one is very interesting because if you remember, the Bears traded a first-round pick to move up a few spots ahead of, I don't remember who they went up against, but they traded up and they took Justin Fields, but they sacrificed a first-round pick to the Giants to make that trade.
Yeah, I don't know what they were thinking.
No, I don't know. The Giants are not the most trustworthy team in the league right now as far as management is concerned.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to take a long time for them to get back to where they need to be.
I don't know. I think that sounds a bit propagandic. I think that they need a bit of a change of management, and I think they have to change the culture. I mean, Joe Judge is not the guy, and David Gettleman is just really fucking stupid. We can already acknowledge that at this point.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, so it's just interesting. But in regards of all of the talk that's leading up to the offseason already, Adam Schefter says that he believes that Russell Wilson would waive his no-trade clause in order to go to the Philadelphia Eagles. But why Philadelphia and not a contender?
Yeah, I don't get that. Whoa. Like, my thing is, if you're a quarterback and you want to be traded to a team, definitely go to a contender, man. Why would you want to go to freaking Philadelphia of all teams?
I mean,
I don't get that.
I think it's because the Eagles have been playing red hot lately as far as like competition-wise. I don't think they'll make the playoffs, but I think they're at the point where they're good enough to be a wild card team.
Yeah, that's true. But like, the thing is, obviously Russell Wilson does have a Super Bowl under his wing, and I'm just thinking there might be. I'm just thinking it might make better sense for him to go to a team that's definitely a top Super Bowl contender. But honestly, it would all depend on what. Oh boy, I think it all depends on what team needs him the most. You know.
Yeah, I think the Saints could be another option too.
That's a really good choice. Because Jameis Winston's out. What's his name again?
Taysom Hill.
Yeah, Taysom Hill. I mean, yeah, they could really have a good. They could go for a good backup quarterback. And just in case I think I can see Russell Wilson being a backup to Taysom Hill for the Saints, or maybe not. No.
Stop. That's never gonna happen.
I forgot. You can't have a Super Bowl quarterback be a backup. I just remembered. That can't happen.
I mean, put it this way. It's like kind of like saying you have Brandon Tanev on the first wing or on the first line playing as a top winger on the Seattle Kraken, but you bring in freaking Connor McDavid as a second line center. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes no sense.
Yeah.
I don't know what I was thinking.
That's okay. But no, I do think though that New Orleans could be a good spot for Russell Wilson. Philadelphia, no doubt in my mind. I think they're trying to make up for being on the loss for what's his face? Deshaun Watson. I think that's a possibility. I can also see Carolina being in the mix, but I don't know. I really don't know what to think of that, to be honest with you, because the Panthers right now are just a mess. I mean, Dante Jackson has a knee injury or groin injury. Sorry, he's done for the year. Christian McCaffrey just went on IR. He's done for the year. Cam Newton sucks again, and the Panthers are just a molding mess. And the worst part is Sam Darnold is throwing again, so that could pretty much mean he could be back sooner than later.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows, man? Like, oh man. Kudos. I'm glad Cam Newton's back in Carolina. No kudos to him, but he just he's just off right now. I just saying he's just off. There's something about it. It's something's not clicking with him right now.
No, and you know what? If Christian McCaffrey goes down, then the whole team collapses.
Yeah, it sucks.
I like the Panthers, and if I was having this conversation with Britt, and we went over, and I told Adam this too. I said if I ever had a second favorite team, which will never happen in the NFL, but if I did, Carolina would be my team.
Yeah, that's a pretty good choice. Definitely.
I think so, but I'm always a Bills fan no matter what. But in regards, though, I do think Russell Wilson has a shot to go to New Orleans, but it's also very possible he can go to Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? So we just got to keep an eye on those teams. Yeah. Like I said, I feel like it'll come down to which team needs him the most.
Yeah, but it also has to make sense in terms of the cap because the Saints have like no money whatsoever. Because I think they still pay Drew Brees a couple $1 million for another year or two. I think something like that. And they also have other contracts like Michael Thomas, Alvin Kamara, Mark Ingram just got traded there like a month ago, 2 months ago, or whenever it was. So it's just the Saints are way over the cap at this point. They have to make some adjustments. And in order to make room for Russell Wilson, that's just how I think they have to do it.
I don't see that happening, to be honest. So, if anything, I see in regards to money gap. Yeah, I think Russell Wilson will be a better fit for the Eagles.
And yeah, I guess it's very possible. So we really don't know until we get to that point. So we'll see.
Yeah.
And then the other piece of news that came out this week was there was a report that came out. I think it was by Ian Rappaport or I think it's Jason LeConte or Mike Garofalo. One of those people was stating that the San Francisco 49ers are planning on trading Jimmy Garoppolo in the offseason so that way they can make Trey Lance the starter going into 2022.
Wow.
I'm curious. Who would trade for Jimmy G?
That's true. I can't see him going back to New England. That's not going to happen.
No, they got Mac Jones. The Patriots don't need him.
Exactly.
I could see the Broncos. I could see Denver.
Yeah, Broncos.
Who else needs a quarterback?
Shoot.
Ooh, he's a quarterback. This is gonna sound like a silly joke, but I'm telling the truth. The Lions.
That honestly, that don't really sound like a joke. I think they really need a quarterback.
Well, Jared Goff sucks. It's pretty obvious.
Exactly.
How was he so good on the Rams like 2 years ago, and now he's on the Lions?
I don't know. Probably, I don't know. Maybe it probably. I mean, I feel like it just comes down to different coaching styles, But at the end of the day, whatever coaching style in Detroit, whatever coaching style Detroit is not working for Goff. All right. I mean, come on. They haven't won a freaking game yet. Come on.
No, I mean they're competitive, but Jared Goff is not the guy.
No, he's not. So it may sound silly, but maybe it might become a reality. Jimmy Garoppolo being with the Lions. Who knows?
I don't know. We'll have to find out down the road. Another team I think that could make an impact for Jimmy G is if they desperately want to get a quarterback. I would even put my eyes on the Steelers. I would also throw in Green Bay, but because Aaron Rodgers might still want to be traded. So I'm leaving that option wide open.
Yeah.
Houston.
Okay, yeah, Houston.
So, yeah.
But I think, I don't know, maybe he might be with the Steelers. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger, he's in his late 30s, nearing 40. And I don't know, he's no Tom Brady. So who knows how long he can keep going.
Nobody's ever comparing Ben Roethlisberger to Tom Brady by any means.
Exactly.
So I'm not sure where that would come in play. I mean, I understand the mobility aspect of it, but Big Ben is shot. And I have a feeling he's going to retire, or he may be forced to retire. I don't know. But as far as I'm concerned, the Steelers are in limbo. Because they're in limbo. Because in the beginning of the year, they were totally fine, and everyone called them Super Bowl contenders. And then they started losing to critical games and then tying with the fucking Lions, and that helps a little bit. I think that game alone sold all their credibility because there is no way. And I understand Ben was on protocol, but how do you go into a tie with the Lions? That's embarrassing.
Exactly. It's freaking worse than losing to the Jaguars without scoring a freaking touchdown.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry I had to bring that up.
I know you did. You just couldn't resist. you just couldn't resist.
No, I couldn't. But seriously though, it's Roethlisberger. He doesn't have long. Let's just call it like it is. He doesn't have long. It's I don't know. Maybe within the next 2 seasons he might be retiring. Who knows?
Maybe this year.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know, because Ben is like, what, 40, 41 years old?
I think it's let me check real quick. I thought he was still in his late 30s.
Yeah, please, because my Wi-Fi is ass right now.
Yeah, let me check real quick.
I'd love to know this because I'm pretty sure Ben is like 40, 41 years old.
No, he's 39, but he'll be 40 on the day after my birthday. Yeah, he'll be 40 in March 2nd.
March 2nd. So you're March 3rd.
Yes.
Interesting. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. But as far as Ben is concerned, I don't see him staying for long in Pittsburgh. I think the Steelers are going to want to manage, a change within the organization, and that means getting rid of Ben, getting rid of Tomlin, getting rid of everybody within that staff. I strongly believe that if Mike Tomlin were to be let go, or if Big Ben were to retire, I think that Pittsburgh Steelers job would be very interesting to be going to. I think that's a spot that I think that would attract a lot of coaches.
Yeah, definitely. But we'll just have to wait and see what's going to happen.
True. I don't know. I don't have much faith in that. But Jimmy Garoppolo, though, I do think could end up in Pittsburgh. But I also would put my final nail in the coffin. But I do firmly think that he'll go to the Denver Broncos in the offseason. That's what I think. Yeah. And one other thing, too, I forgot to mention, and we'll move on to hockey in a bit, is that this past week, when was this released? Over the week, on Saturday, the USFL has finally revealed the new 8 teams in their new inaugural league.
Whoa, I did not hear anything about that.
Really? I'm surprised.
No, I'm serious. Holy crap.
Well, I'm going to tell you who they are right now, and you're going to be very familiar with a lot of these names because you were an 80s baby, so I may as well just tell you. You ready? The teams that are coming back are, and I quote, and I'm reading this in alphabetical order, so just bear with me here. The teams are the Birmingham Stallions, the Houston Gamblers, the Michigan Panthers, the New Jersey Generals, the New Orleans Breakers, the Philadelphia Stars, the Pittsburgh Maulers, and the Tampa Bay Pens.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of big names right there. I'm surprised the Chicago Blitz were not put here.
Dang. I mean, that's a bit of a shocker. But wow. New Jersey Generals, Birmingham Stallions, Houston Gamblers. I'm a little familiar with them. I forget. Shoot, there was a player that used to play for them, but I don't remember the name.
For who? The Houston Gamblers?
Yeah.
Oh, I do. I know who that player is. Jim friggin' Kelly.
I was thinking that, but I wasn't sure.
You know any other names in the USFL that played there?
Shoot, I was gonna say Doug Flutie, but nah, I didn't. I don't think he ever played in that league.
I think he did. I think he did. I'm not exactly sure. I know for a fact that Herschel Walker did. Herschel Walker was a star running back for the New Jersey Generals, which coincidentally at the time was owned by Donald Trump.
I think I read something about that, or watched. I might have watched a video about that.
Yeah, because I remember people were giving Trump a hard time about the New Jersey Generals. I mean, I don't really know the full story, and I'm not going to go into a political argument about this, but I want to just get straight to the point. And that is the New Jersey Generals, though, were owned by Donald Trump, and Herschel Walker played for the New Jersey Generals. And I think, I'm not exactly sure. I think Randall Cunningham played for them. I don't remember. See, I'm not familiar with the USFL as I was with the XFL, especially the new one.
Yeah, honestly, I've never even heard of the USFL at the time, and I was born in the late '80s. Shoot, I hardly remember anything from those days.
So wait a minute, you don't remember the USFL?
I legit don't.
Well, yeah, because the league shut down in 1986, so it makes sense why that would be the case. But as far as teams going into this league, which team are you the most excited to see?
Oh boy. I mean, this may sound a little biased, but I would have to say New Jersey Generals.
For me, I'm excited to see the Houston Gamblers.
Yeah, that's understandable.
But I don't know, though, if I'm going to be as excited about the USFL as I was with the XFL. I'm not really sure.
Yeah, because we all know how the XFL turned out last year. Was shutting down because of the virus and whatnot. So
yeah, I mean, it was nobody's fault. I'll say that for sure.
Exactly.
So they had no control of that. But in general, though, it's going to be interesting when the USFL, and I'm hoping that they don't rush it because I want them to be successful. What really is it going to come down to is the uniforms, the jerseys, and the players. That's what I think it's going to matter the most about who does what. But I just find this very interesting because I kept hearing about the USFL, but as far as the USFL is concerned, I didn't know if they were going to bring back any of the original teams, and it sounds like they did. They brought back all of the original teams except for a handful, like the Chicago Blitz or something like that. Like the Blitz were not put on here, surprisingly, but I don't know. Like the USFL, I think could be successful, but they have to have a right marketing campaign. That's what I think.
Yeah, and if they are successful in their first season, then maybe before next season they'll add the Chicago Blitz. Who knows? Maybe,
because I heard they put in a trademark for the Chicago Blitz prior to all this, so I really don't know for sure if the USFL has any interest in bringing in the Chicago Blitz, because I think that would be fantastic. I think that would be a great marketing campaign if you want to have a successful reboot of the league. You have to add the Chicago Blitz. It's very simple.
Definitely.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on now to hockey, because there was a lot of interesting shit that's been going around lately. And I want to talk about the Seattle Kraken, because their news has been popping up like herpes lately. And I think it's best we discuss what's been going on with them. So with that being said, there's been some few interesting pieces with them. And we're going to start small and then work our way up. The first one is the Seattle Kraken have already, according to Sean Shapiro, the Seattle Kraken have already had internal conversations about a third alternate jersey.
I saw an Instagram post about that. I was picturing it at the time. Let's see, they have the navy blue home jerseys. They got the white road jerseys up. Maybe they might do like a teal alternate jersey. Who knows? Maybe.
I don't know. Well, I mean, I think if you want my honest opinion, I see two things. I think they're going to do one reverse retro jersey, which is going to be the Kraken colors, but it's going to be the Seattle Metropolitans. I think they're going to bring that back for a handful of games. And another idea I had popping up in my head is I think the Kraken are entertaining a red alternate jersey idea. I think that's another. Jerseys. I think that's a possibility as well. I could even see the deep blue sea or deep sea blue being a play or something like that. I could definitely see that being in play as far as like a possibility.
Yeah, definitely. I feel like Sea Blue would fit the most because Seattle's by the freaking ocean, and so I feel like it makes better sense. But the Seattle Metropolitans jerseys, I could definitely see them bringing those back as well. But hey, the red possible red jerseys, fits with the red eye.
Yeah, we'll see. And another piece of interesting news that came out from Seattle Kraken is their names have been popping up in the trade rumor market. I don't know if you've been seeing this a lot lately.
I'm listening.
Okay, it sounds like you haven't. So I'll tell you.
No, I really haven't.
Okay, here we go. So where do I begin? Okay, I'll make it the most obvious. And that is that I'm sure you've heard of Evander Kane, right?
Yeah. Oh boy.
Yeah, Evander Kane's been in the news lately because he got suspended by the San Jose Sharks because he was carrying, or I should say he was violating an NHL protocol for carrying a fake COVID card. So he got suspended by the San Jose Sharks for that. And he got to the point where the Sharks are desperately trying to trade him. And any team that's willing to take him on, they're willing to retain some of his salary, or at least half of it. And he got sent to the AHL with the San Jose Barracuda. And there was a shit full of teams on here. And I'll read you who they are in a sec. And those teams are, and this is from Larry Brooks, by the way, from the New York Post. He covers the Rangers. He said that the 7 teams that are interested in him are the Arizona Coyotes, the New Jersey Devils, the New York Rangers, the Ottawa Senators, who, by the way, were reported later were not interested in him. The Ottawa Senators, the Nashville Predators, the Columbus Blue Jackets, the Detroit Red Wings, the Buffalo Sabres, the Anaheim Ducks, and the Seattle Kraken are all interested in Evander Kane.
No, please don't come to Seattle.
Well, it seems like to me you have a lot to say, and I could see it in your body language. It seems like to me you're like, I don't want Evander Kane here. Please do not bring him in. I mean, he's a good player, but he is just a head.
His off team stuff, man. It's just nah. I don't want to deal with that.
No, I don't think he does. Remember how he got? I don't know. No, you want me to tell you what happened to him when he was younger?
What happened?
Well, when Evander Kane was on the Winnipeg Jets, because remember how he goes on the Sabres?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got traded from Winnipeg to Buffalo for a reason. And it was because he wanted to get replacement shoulder surgery, and the Jets wouldn't allow him to get it because they felt that it wasn't as serious as they thought it was going to be. So he then says, you know what? You don't want to give me the shoulder surgery? I'm just going to act like an asshole. So what he does next is that he was supposedly having an affair with Dustin Byfuglien's wife. And on top of all that, during the lockout in 2013, he started to pose for himself on Instagram with stacks of cash like this on his back. I think there was like 4 or 5 of them on his back, and he was doing push-ups and he was posting it on Instagram and so on. Then, of course, he was under investigation with the Sabres for sexual harassment, I think, sexual harassment, which turned out to be false. And then on top of all that, he's also had abuse allegations.
Good gosh, man. And Buffalo's one of the teams that's interested in him, right?
They're reinterested and reacquiring him.
Do you really think for 1 second the Sabres want that headache again?
Honestly, yes, I think they would, because they're that goddamn stupid.
Oh, you got me there.
Yes, I do think they would, because they don't know what they're doing, and they love taking in cancerous players. So Evander Kane would fit perfectly because Buffalo is such a shithole team. So it makes perfect sense.
Well, as long as he doesn't come to Seattle, I don't care where he goes. Let them handle that crap.
Well, let's see if Ron Francis is that gullible. If he's this gullible to trade for friggin' Evander Kane, who the fuck do you think they would even give up for him?
Oh, gosh, a whole bunch.
Yeah, I would imagine it's got to be I would say they would give up a couple of picks because I don't think they would want to sacrifice a player on the team for the fact of Evander Kane's, talent. I mean, he's talented, but he is just a headache. It's just like, I don't even know. It's like having Odell Beckham Jr. and it's like having Antonio Brown on your team.
Oh gosh, I'm glad that never worked out for the Bills.
Yeah, that's very true. But with Seattle, though, this could very well be a possibility. I mean, nobody in the league wants him. And the worst part about all this is guess how much Evander Kane's cap is right now?
Oh boy, how much is it?
Take a wild guess.
Oh boy.
Take a wild guess.
Is it somewhere in the teens? Or
below that, but
below that? Okay. Okay, then I'm gonna guess 7 to 8 million.
You're very close.
Oh wow.
Yeah,
is it just over 8 million?
It's actually around 7 million because I remember.
Okay.
And the reason I remember this is because hold on one second. Hey, I'll call you back. We're recording.
Professionalism, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. So yeah. All right. Take your time. Bye. Sorry, guys. That was Tom. He was having difficulties with his computer, and he had to go and get a fucking cable. So anyway, so let's look up Evander Kane's cap on capfriendly.com. And I was trying to say before was the reason I remember his contract is because he signed an extension immediately after he got traded. And the deal was at the time when the Sabres traded him to the Sharks, the deal is that the Sabres would get a first round pick if he resigned, and he did. So Evander Kane gave away the Sabres an extra first round pick. And as far as cap goes, Evander Kane makes $7 million until 2025.
Jeez Louise.
So if there's a team out there, and Seattle's a possibility, if you want Evander Kane, you got to pay half of that salary. That's a big gamble.
Oh, yeah, it is.
You're in a loss of words.
I am, because I'm thinking, is this even worth the headache that comes with it?
Well,
this is what I'm thinking.
Well,
I know. Look, don't get me wrong. He's a great player, no doubt about that. But his off the rink antics, I don't know anymore. I don't know.
Well, I hope so, because there's also been some rumors going around about another player on the market, and that is Jake DeBrusk, who is a left winger for the Boston Bruins. He went up to the Bruins on yesterday, or actually I should say Monday. He went up to the Boston Bruins, and his name has been rumored for a while now to go to like Edmonton or Calgary or whatever, but it was official on Monday night when the Sabres lost to the fucking Kraken. Congratulations, asshole. Yeah, I know. But
yeah, stay salty, boy.
Oh, god damn it. I had to do this, did you?
Hey, you brought it up, not me.
I know exactly what I did.
You did it to yourself.
I know what I did. So oh, for fuck's sake. But anyway, so Jake DeBrusk is only 25 years old, and he is requesting a trade from the Boston Bruins for more playing time. And the Seattle Kraken are rumored to be one of the front runners to get Jake DeBrusk.
Okay, so here's my question. How good is he?
Well, let's find out. All right, so we're going to go to capfriendly.com. God damn it. We're going to go look up his cap right now. See, I hate the Bruins, but Jake DeBrusk is a former first round pick back in 2015 by the Boston Bruins. So I want to draw that out there. Get rid of the ad. So Jake DeBrusk. Let's see here. Jake DeBrusk. This year alone, Jake DeBrusk only has, and this is just for this year, he has 6 points, 3 goals, and 3 assists in 18 games. But before that, though, Jake DeBrusk, his best season was in 2018-2019, where he scored 42 points in 68 games with 27 goals and 15 assists. And he was a +2. So that worked out pretty damn well. And plus minus rating is when you go in the penalty box or on the power play and stuff like that. But yeah, but Jake DeBrusk, though, I think, and plus if you think about it into contradiction with the pandemic and during the playoffs in Toronto or in Edmonton or whatever you want to call it, his numbers really went downhill from there. So all in all, though, he's been decent, but he wants more playing time. And he's on a really stacked Boston Bruins team.
Oh.
Because he played for the Swift Current Broncos before he was drafted out of the WHL in the Western Hockey League.
Okay.
And he's only 20.
Right. Obviously, no one's fault because with the whole COVID thing, all that stuff. Honestly, if I would probably give him a chance, because if it had been for the pandemic, I'm sure he would have put up a whole bunch of numbers,
right?
Like it did the season prior.
Right. And consider this too. He also makes around $3.675 million per year. And that's how much he gets in general. And keep in mind, he's playing with Taylor Hall. He's playing with David Pastrnak. He's playing with Brad Marchand. He's playing with Patrice Bergeron. He's playing with Charlie Coyle. He's playing with some pretty damn good talent across them. So
no wonder he's asking for more playing time.
Well, yeah, like I said, he's on a very good Boston Bruins team. So, the Bruins are stacked with veterans, but Charlie Coyle is getting buried. So I think for him to get traded, I think would be the best thing for him. So I don't know. But as far as his playing time, I think he would do great with Seattle if they were interested in him. But Edmonton, Philadelphia, Calgary, Carolina, or just some of the teams, the Islanders were even brought up as a possibility. Even the Sabres were brought up as a possibility for, Jacob DeBrusk.
I say any team that is a possibility, chances are it's not going to happen. Right. But let's see.
What are you thinking about?
I'm trying to think which team he would fit in the most.
With DeBrusk, I think Seattle would definitely be a fit. I could see Edmonton being a fit. I would say Philadelphia is a good fit. I definitely think that that would fit nicely as well. So I definitely think, though, his name will be around for a while. He'll definitely be on the rumor mill for sure.
Yeah, I can see him with either Seattle or Philadelphia.
Possibly. We'll see. I mean, Philly is doing pretty decent for themselves for right now. Yeah, I definitely think that his name will be in the comment section or in the rumor mill for a little while. So we'll see. Yeah, for sure. And so the next topic that's being brought up is, remember the talk we had last week about how the Quebec City project was in place, about how the Coyotes could end up moving to Quebec City within next year, possibly?
Yeah.
Well, apparently, according to Chris Johnson of Sportsnet, he's saying there was a talk of a group of investors looking to build a brand new arena in Hamilton, Ontario. So think about that. If you were to build a brand new arena in Hamilton, Ontario, that's a possibility for an NHL team, which could leave a possibility open for the Coyotes to move there. So I would assume there's going to be a couple of bidders down there. So I really don't know. So it'll be interesting for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We'll see. If this whole thing does come to fruition, either they take Arizona, either they bring Arizona to Hamilton, or they just, and this might not happen, but maybe they have a new expansion team or something. But I don't see that. I don't see the latter happening. I kind of see them bringing the Coyotes in and rebranding them.
They'd have to. I mean, that's the only way I would do it, in my honest, humble opinion. I think that would be the best case scenario.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there's been some interesting news lately about the Montreal Canadiens, and that is GM Marc Bergevin got fired on Sunday over mismanagement and over insider feuds with ownership and coaching staff, and how he handled the injury for Carey Price and a bunch of other things. So Bergevin's gone. So there's now a few handful of names being brought up, and half of them are either former Buffalo Sabres or NHL legends. So there are some names being thrown around. And here's the thing about the Montreal Canadiens. They are very picky who they want to hire as the GM or the coach. So that is probably one of the most conservative, teams in the league. And they want a labeled status quo when they hire coaches or general managers. And I'll show you what I mean in a minute. And that is the Montreal Canadiens are continuing their search for a general manager to take over the departure of Marc Bergevin as always, but the club is in search for a quote-unquote French-speaking person for the role. And the names that have been named as possible candidates are so far as to follow. And you're going to recognize them, or at least hear some of these names. And here we are. These are the names. Patrick Roy, Martin Maton Jr., Matthew Darch, Vincent Damhus, Marty Brodeur, Roberto Luongo, and my favorite one, who's the front runner for the job, is Danny Briere.
I definitely remember Danny Briere.
Yep. And then I find it interesting that 3 of these names are Hall of Famers, like NHL legends, like Luongo, Brodeur, Patrick Roy. Patrick Roy played for the Montreal Canadiens many, many years ago. And Marty Brodeur is from Montreal. He's from that area. And same thing with Roberto Luongo. They're all French-Canadian roots.
Okay. So if if Montreal is picky, so they might pick one of those 3, even though Danny Briere is the front runner.
Yeah, correct.
But wow. Wow.
They want someone who knows how to structure a team and also knows how to speak very fluent French Canadian.
Yeah, I can see them leaning towards a French Canadian, hands down.
They're all French Canadian.
All French? Oh, dang, I forget. Wait, Danny Briere is French Canadian?
Yes, he's from Montreal.
Oh wow! Oh wow!
Yeah, that's why his name came up.
Okay. Honestly,
Go back.
Okay. I can see now. Okay, I see why he's a front runner. I think he might get the job.
Maybe because Chris Drury, his partner in crime. I'm sure you remember Chris Drury.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Guess what? He's the freaking general manager of the New York Rangers.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Think about that. 2 Sabres legends being GMs across the league. One for the New York Rangers and one possibly for the Montreal Canadiens.
I think that would make better sense.
Yep. And another thing that also has to be brought in, which is the elephant in the room, is whoever the GM is, what do you do with Carey Price? He's getting up there in age. He's injury prone, and he's 34 years old, and he may request a trade. Because remember, this guy was in the rumor mill all summer long, and he was linked to the Seattle Kraken before they obviously took Chris Drieger, and before they took Vitek Vanacek, before they took Joey Decord, and before they took in Philip Grubauer. So these are all names that were brought up, and bringing up to that was Carey Price. But that never happened, of course.
Honestly, they might cut him. If I don't know, man. Being injury prone, all that stuff, it does a number on your body, and yeah, I don't see him lasting long. They might cut him.
I don't know. We'll see. Because to be honest with you, they can't cut him because when you have a monster contract, let me tell you his contract, because his contract is huge. Let me see. Where are the Montreal Canadiens? Here we are. So I'm on Cap Friendly once more, as I want to show you what I'm talking about. So Carey Price's contract, because in the NHL, it's not like the NFL where you could just be like, oh, I could just cut this guy. It's not like that. In the NHL, if you sign a guy to a 2-way contract, then yeah, I can see where you're going. But this is a starter in the NHL. Where the hell is Carey Price? I saw his name just a minute ago. Is he on injury reserve? Yeah, I'm sorry, guys. I'm on freaking cap friendly. Where the hell is Carey Price? There he is. I found him. So Carey Price's contract, ready for this? $10.5 million for 5 more years.
Wow.
And he's 34 years old. And he makes up 12.9% of the cap.
Oh, jeez.
And he's not a
wow.
and he won't be a free agent until 2026.
Nah, man, that's too much. Holy crap.
Yeah, so
10 mil for 5 years. Yeah, that's way too much.
yeah, and he's one of the best players in the league. So
wow.
So the question is, if you're Danny Brieris, that's who was rumored to get the job, or any of these French Canadian roots guys like Luongo, Brodeur, Dampus, or anybody, any French Canadian that could speak fluent French. Because here's the thing with the Montreal Canadiens. They are very stereotypical. They love to bring in players who have veteranosity, and they love bringing in players who can speak French, and on top of all, have talent. So they don't like Americans very much when it comes to, production. And plus, for an American to go to a Canadian market like Montreal is very challenging. Because they segregate against people who don't really speak French Canadian.
Well, oh, jeez. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that, to be honest.
That's fine. But do you think it's worth trading for if you're any team in the league right now? Any team, even Seattle, even though they won't do it.
Like currently, no, I don't. Not definitely not currently.
Because he's right now on injury reserve, so I don't know how that's going to work out for anybody. I find it impossible. The only way they can get rid of him is by either they trade him or they buy out his contract. But the thing is, if you buy out a monster contract like that, you have to double pay up of what you originally paid the player. So if a player makes like $12 million, which is very like top notch, like McDavid Matthews level money, then you have to pay him double of what his salary was until a certain amount of years.
No, that's too much. I can't see any. I can't really see anybody picking up his contract.
I don't either. No. But it's just, I don't know. It's going to be very, very hard to trade his contract. And I'll give you a quick rundown of this lesson because it's a very interesting thing to keep in mind. Is when Garth Snow was general manager of the New York Islanders, there was a player that the Islanders drafted first overall in the year 2000, and they had a goalie by the name of Rick DiPietro, who I'm sure you may or may not have heard of. But Rick DiPietro was a first overall pick by the Islanders 20 years ago, and by 2007, guess how much Garth Snow paid him?
How much?
They paid him. Let me see. How much did they sign DP for? I remember they gave it to him. Let me see. I apologize. Islanders sign Rick DiPietro. Give me 1 second. I want to get this right, so this way you'd be like, holy crap. Okay, where is it? Here it is. I found it. I'm gunning it on NHL.com right now as we speak. There we go. Rick DiPietro got a 15-year extension with the New York Islanders, and every term of his contract at that time was $4.5 million per year.
Wow.
Yeah, think about that. $4.5 million for 15 years. And within the first 3 years of his contract, he got bought out by the Islanders. And they had to stop paying him until 2021, which was this past year.
Jeez Louise, man. What in the world?
Yeah, imagine signing something this monstrous.
I can't imagine that. Holy crap.
Yeah, here it is. 15 years, $67.5 million.
Damn.
Altogether. And he was one of the biggest busts in NHL history.
Dude, that's a freaking waste.
Yep. That's
holy crap.
That's Garth Snow incompetence for you, man. And believe me, And believe me, I live down here. I saw fucking hell, okay? I saw Rick DiPietro play live. He's terrible.
Wow.
And his career went so downhill, right? He went down so bad that he's now a radio host with Chris Canty on ESPN New York.
Oh, man.
Yeah, that's literally the demise of Rick DiPietro.
Dang.
Now you understand why you don't sign big players to that kind of contract?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, Rick DiPietro did not deserve that contract at the time. He did not. I mean, maybe in the beginning he did, but afterwards he sucked. But I'm almost certain of this too, is there's a big difference between Carey Price and Rick DiPietro. And obviously that is Carey Price is a future Hall of Famer. That's a big difference.
Yeah.
There's a major difference. And so now I saved the best for last, and that is the Pittsburgh Penguins have finally been bought by Fenway Sports Group. So the people who own the Boston Red Sox TV programming are now owners of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And both Ron Burkle and Mario Lemieux and Ron Burkle will retain partial ownership of the club.
I'm still wondering why a Boston-based company would buy a team outside of their state. I still don't get that.
You know who else I found out is also part owner of the Penguins?
LeBron James.
Correct.
I'm so sorry, Pittsburgh. I am so sorry.
Yeah, I feel bad for them at this point. I mean, the only reason I would assume why this was made was simply to keep the Penguins from this fear mongering. Because a few years, like 15 years ago, before they got Crosby and Malkin, they were in conversation at the time to move to Kansas City, and they needed a player to kind of save them. So the NHL rewarded the Penguins Sidney Crosby in 2005. And sure enough, it got them 3 Stanley Cups and also new ownership.
I mean, kudos to them, but still, LeBron James, of all players, why?
Well, I wish I knew that answer too. And not only that, but the Penguins are also in the spotlight for another jersey. So I don't know if you saw this or not, but the Pittsburgh Penguins also revealed a brand new jersey. Remember that? I don't know if you saw this. Remember the white reverse retro jerseys they were doing last year, the Penguins, where it said Pittsburgh going diagonally?
I think so.
Okay, so that jersey, right? Think of that jersey, but in black. Yeah, I'll show you. You may be familiar with this. I don't know if my phone gets there. You go. So you can probably remember this. This is literally what Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr had back in the day. The only difference is that this jersey has the 2 skating penguins on the shoulders. Back in the day, it was a triangle penguin. So they changed up the shoulder patch on this jersey. But it's basically the 90s Pittsburgh Penguins jersey from when they had Mario Lemieux and Jaromir Jagr on the team.
I mean, they don't look too bad, to be honest.
I think so. I think it looks great, honestly. But my only question is, why did Pittsburgh do that, though? Like, why did they take a reverse retro jersey and made it black? Are they trying to set up are they trying to foreshadow something?
I don't know. Maybe because it's the part of the team colors.
Well, obviously that, but I think they're trying to foreshadow these as the I want to say the primary home jersey and the road jersey, because if they have a reverse retro jersey in white, and it makes me think that now that they have this in black, it makes me think now they might possibly do a rebranding, which they did a few years ago. They went with the 90s Penguins jerseys. I honestly think if they're entertaining that idea, I would not change the jerseys. I like them just the way they are.
Yeah, that's true. But again, these ones don't look too bad at all.
Definitely not. I mean, I definitely think it's a lot nicer than the white one that they had last year.
Oh, hands down.
Yeah. And a few episodes ago, I mentioned a reverse retro jersey. I think I mentioned it in October that they were entertaining, that the NHL was entertaining the idea of doing a second series of reverse retro jerseys. So I have to think Pittsburgh is probably going to do another jersey just like everyone else. And I think they're going to do a full-on rebranding over the summer. I don't know. Because I think a lot of teams are throwing into diagonal jerseys. Like the only one I think, and I've always said this personally, is that the only team I think that can personally get away with this is the New York Rangers.
I mean, yeah, that makes sense because they've always had the names diagonally down there on the jersey. So, yeah, I can see the Rangers definitely doing that.
Yep, and Pittsburgh is bringing it back. The Colorado Avalanche have that jersey back in like 20 years ago. It was a maroon or a burgundy color jersey, and it's a Colorado on it. It was an alternate jersey, and it did not work out too well. And then the Carolina Hurricanes apparently have one of their own, but it says Kane's going across. I don't like that one as much. But again, I hate the Rangers, but I think that's the only exceptional team that deserves that. Pittsburgh maybe, but I don't think Pittsburgh should use that as a primary jersey. I mean, it was already said that they're going to bring it in as like 12 jerseys. I mean, 12 games. That's what I meant to say. Is they're going to wear it for 12 games this year. So I guess that's how it's going to go. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, the jerseys are hot. I mean, we talked about the Devils jersey last week on last week's episode.
Yeah, those are terrible.
Yeah, but the Penguins jersey that got revealed today is so much better looking.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, so I know that Tom was not here, unfortunately, and it might just be us two. But then again, we were able to make an episode, and I think that's what really benefits.
Yeah, we just got to work with what we got, at the end of the day.
I think
it worked out pretty good.
Yeah, I think so. But is there anything you want to say before we wrap up tonight's show?
Get well soon, Tre'Davious White. Hope to see you back next season, hands down.
Yep. And I want to check one last thing before we wrap up tonight's show. And that is I am looking up the score for the Kraken Red Wings game.
Oh, I'm looking at it right now. They are currently tied at 2.
At the end of the second.
Yep.
What an interesting concept. So I assume you're probably going to, hang up in a little bit after we do the outro, and you're going to go and watch the rest of it, I assume?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep track of the score. The Red Wings did score first, 1-0, but then the Kraken came back with 2 goals, and then the Red Wings have found a way to tie the game up.
I hope you understand. I'm still pissed off about that game on Monday.
I know. I don't care.
You shouldn't. That's the whole argument. You shouldn't care. Sabres deserve to lose that game. They're garbage. They're fucking garbage. Get the fuck out of here. Holy shit. Listen, I watched that whole game and I sat through there in the end of the first period. I'm like, I'm done. The Sabres look like crap. They're losing to an expansion team. They're letting Brandon Tanev score all around them. It's just fucking embarrassing.
I mean, what can I say?
Brandon Tanev scoring on a shorthanded goal against Rasmus Dahlin doesn't really help. It doesn't help. Fucking hey, man. I hate being a Sabres fan, but what am I going to do? Fucking Christ. So I guess we will wrap up this week's episode, and we will definitely be back on Wednesday next week. I am your host, Bob Hansen.
I am Mr. Bubba Matt.
And we are both out, and you have been listening to Buffalo After Dark. Thanks for listening, and be good people.
Take care, y'all.
Buffalo After Dark is an H&H Studio production and distributed by Horns and Hooves Entertainment.